So, good afternoon, everybody. I thought I point something out regarding my certified mail that I sent to the White House a few weeks ago. Sent it out back in September the 8th at 2:10 p.m. Okay. Um, and it says in the tracking system that it departed the post office on September the 8th, 2025 at 8:27 p.m. and it arrived at the USPS Regional Origin Facility in Richmond, Virginia Distribution Center on September the 9th, 2025 at 8:18 p.m. And again, it says on the tracking system that it arrived at UPS Regional Destination Facility, Washington, D.C. Distribution Center, September the 10th, 2025, 12:09 p.m. And it arrived again at the USPS Regional Facility in Gaithersburg, Maryland Distribution Center, September 11th, 2025 at 6:28 p.m. Okay. And for some reason, it was turned around uh, on, on September the 12th. It arrived at the USPS Regional Origin Facility in Norfolk, Virginia Distribution Center, September the 12th, 2025 at 5:18 p.m. And then it was resent out to Richmond, Virginia Distribution Center on September the 15th, 2025. That's when it arrived there at 8:04 p.m. And then they confirmed again that it arrived in the regional destination facility in Washington, D.C. Distribution Center on September the 17th. And it was put in transit to the next facility on September the 20th. And it arrived at the hub in Washington, D.C. on September the 21st, 2025 at 9:42 a.m. It was all redelivered again on scheduled for the next business day to the intended destination. And here it says when it was delivered, an individual picked it up at the post office. So the package was certified to go to the White House. The material came from a former US Peace Corps volunteer who would like to share my story with the White House and with the president, basically. And I addressed, the package directly to the office of the president. Okay. And yet it says here that an individual personally picked up the material at the post office. I find that extremely strange. So I dropped off the package on September the 8th, and it didn't arrive there until today. It didn't arrive at the White House, or I don't know whoever picked it up, until the 26th. Okay. Of September. Strange. You would think that the US Postal Service would know the exact location where the White House is, and that I find it extremely strange that the package was returned to the original point of departure, which is in Norfolk, Virginia. So I find this extremely troubling. I hope no one messed with the material inside of my package, because for a mail to arrive 2 weeks later, or a little bit more than 2 weeks, is pretty strange in my opinion. All right, folks. Yeah, I just thought I'd point this out because I've never heard of a mail that slow arriving to the intended destination that happens to be the White House. All right, folks. Yeah. Anyway, I hope I hear back from the White House and that they managed to review the material from a former U.S. Peace Corps volunteer who basically served his country, making less than minimum wage, $200 per month. All right, folks, during my service. So I hope the White House actually managed to review the contents of my mail. All right. With this said, yeah, I just thought I'd share this overall fiasco with my followers and whoever would like to know about the status of my mail, snail mail. It takes 2 weeks. So, I mean, if you were to travel from Virginia to Washington, D.C., it only takes a few hours. All right, folks. So I find this extremely strange. With this said, thank you for watching. Take care.